All right, I think I'm live everywhere. Hmm. I think I'm live everywhere. Now I just gotta go to my live. Go to the live. Where? What? I can look at it, can I? Hello. There we go. Okay. And now that chat is open as well. I guess I could pop that one out. I didn't think about it. Thinking in real time here. Thinking in real frickin' time. Just the windows and everything. Make sure I can still see the El Chato Renos. And any of the other... Okay, there we go. All right, gonna get more water. I will be right back. Okay. We have achieved water. Water's been achieved. All right, let us now turn off this. Hi, hello, oh, hello, hi, and hello. All right, so if I have my windows set up correctly, oh, I gotta switch scenes in OBS as well. All right, making sure that all of my windows are working. Windows and lives, lives and windows. All right, so today, hello, hi. It's Tuesday, Talk Tuesdays. That's what Tuesdays are for today, Tuesday. I know, weird, right? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Goose. I typically play video games, but right now I'm talking on a live stream. I usually play video games on live stream too, but I also play video games outside of live streams. Don't know why that's relevant. Today is Talk Tuesday, and Talk Tuesdays we take a deeper look into talking. Is talking worth it? Do we talk too much? Do we talk too little? Wait, no, that's none of it. Actually, what's happening today is we're asking the question, is America great again yet? Get greater yet? Is America great yet? Again. And if you've never seen any of my streams, it may look like I'm looking at the bottom right corner of my screen on the camera, but what I'm actually looking at is myself. Because I have horrible, horrible ADHD, as I just proved right then and there. I just got distracted by... I think my dog is out in the back eating sticks. It's worth getting distracted over, I think. Nothing I can do about it. She's just gonna keep doing it. But it's also like, hey, no barking. You can eat sticks, but no barkies. She's also been digging like really, really, really deep holes in the backyard. No idea why. Well, no, I do know why. It's because she wants to just dig holes. She's a hole digger. She's a hole digging lady. So, again, I know that I tend to get off track, but welcome to the stream. Today's theme, if I can call it that, is Talk Tuesdays. It is Tuesday, and we're gonna talk. Well, kind of talk, I guess. What we're gonna do is, for the whole time, if we can, we're gonna try and leave a question dangling for y'all, and that question is America great yet? again? So if you can answer that, I'm mostly, you know, I'm speaking to the MAGA crowd as somebody who tends to exist on the left side of the aisle. The question is America great again? Is America great yet again? Now there may be follow-up questions. You know? That's just, I mean, that's just a thing that happens, you know, once you introduce an idea, questions, you know, sometimes follow up. Sometimes questions follow up. Sometimes questions, they follow up. Anyway, so again, as I've said before, I'm still new to streaming live on TikTok. So if I'm missing any particular thing, I think I have the multi-guest thing figured out. Jesus, but if I don't know if I am, you know, potentially missing people who want to join in or whatever, but if so, then here actually what I'll do is I'll edit the info so that y'all can just join up on my Discord if I am not seeing your if I'm not seeing the alerts like I'm supposed to be. If I don't see your join, get on Discord. And then I'll put the link there and we will save that. Bada bing. All right, cool. So that's the question. The question is America great yet again? And as I said, you know, there'll probably be follow-ups to that. But as we go, in the meantime, we are gonna go and I said go. We're gonna go and we're gonna, in the meantime, we're gonna go and then we're gonna go and we'll be going. We're just gonna keep going. I do different themes each day now, and typically I try to make them sound fun, you know, with some alliteration. You know, Talk Tuesdays, Work Wednesdays, etc. Theme Thursdays, I think was what I landed on, just because there's too many different things that I wanted to do on Thursdays, and I wanted it to sound fun, and I wanted it to sound engaging somewhat. So what we're gonna do is, I mean, I saved these bookmarks to illustrate some stuff, some points I was gonna make about videos I was reacting to in a previous stream, but we didn't end up reacting to those. So I'm gonna, well, I guess I won't get rid of them now. We'll wait. I'll get rid of them at a later time. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let the YouTube gods guide us. Why am I speaking with such a low voice? I think it's because my allergies are crazy, even during the summertime. Summertime, and the my asthma goes crazy. Like it starts scarring, right? I think that's a thing, right? Your cilia, whatever's on the things on the inside of your throat get all like scarred up and scraped and stuff, and it makes you have quite a sultry low tone. And really, this is how I sound most of the time. Hello guys, your friend Goose here. Scared my dog. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I guess I kind of, you know, oh hello, hi. Called myself out. She clearly is aware that I don't normally speak in a funny voice. That's fine. You know what? I'm working on this. So Stream Elements. I don't know if there are other. Stop it! If there are other content creators out there, Stream Elements gives you like these like sponsorships. Even even like it's not really like specific sponsorships. They don't seek you out and go like, hey, you've got quite the following, let me give you a sponsorship. It's nothing like that. I am still, for all intents and purposes, a nobody, but they sometimes offer like incentives if you're able to get people to sign up. It's an affiliate sort of thing. It's sort of, you know, it's sort of an intuitive, I don't know, like an intuitive system, but I don't know if it pays out or if it is reliable. But it's for basically people with no like real following to kind of get the opportunity to make a little bit of money, just regardless of what their view count or what their minutes watched are. It's kind of cool. It's like a cool little leg up for small time creators. So I'm trying to organize the Factor one. I set up the Twitch stream to say that it's brand, there's like some branded stuff there, but I don't know how to do that for the other ones. I guess we'll figure that out as we go along. But they also said that if you do like if you buy one, like if you buy a box, then you can, like, that counts towards your incentive. So if I buy one, then I get paid for it essentially. And I think it's more, I'm not quite sure how the system works, but if you buy a box and then get paid for it, I think that means that you make a profit. I think there might be fine print that I'm not aware of. See, and this is sort of my, it's a good mention of a point that I like to make. Sorry, by the way, what we're going to do until we get people to talk to is we're going to type in #MAGA. Even though I don't know. Oh my God. I can. Oh, it is the worst. The fart that she just farted. It like swept indoors. It rushed in here. It's burning my nostrils. Oh my gosh. She is a great pup, and I think that she is just the bee's knees, but oh my gosh, does she stink when she wants to. She is I don't know if it's the food that we are feeding her. It shouldn't be, because like we feed her good food, you know, it's like all natural, like the you know, it's the good stuff. Oh God. So for those who are watching on Twitch or YouTube, I'm sorry if I keep mentioning it, but the live studio for TikTok, you kind of have to like keep sort of hammering in that message in order to get people, because they I guess they dip in and out really quickly, so you have to like say your stuff pretty often. So I'll be mentioning it more often than I normally would. So again, hi, hello, I'm Goose. This is a Talk Tuesdays. Talk Tuesdays takes many different forms. I'm here to talk about pretty much anything political, religious, or if you have any kind of issue going on in your life. Talk Tuesday also means some armchair talk therapy. I am, you know, I said armchair, but I will also mention explicitly that I am not a medical professional, and no advice that I give would ever be, you know, meant to be taken as medical advice. It's just, I can only give you a response from my shared experiences. So if advice is something you need, I'm happy to do that too. Also, if you just want to bat an idea around, or if there's just something that you really want to talk about, you know, and you don't have anybody else to talk about it to, I'm here for that. But the question for today, just to get things rolling, and I'm open to discussion on so many other things, but just to get things rolling, the question today is America great yet? Again? And that's the question. Very simple. I have Discord open. I have, and I think I have the voice chat on Discord ready to be joined. I have the, I think if I'm looking at it correctly, actually I can put it over here, right? And then, no, I can't just look at the thing. Okay, well that's fine. Whatever. I'll just put that. I'll minimize that, and then we'll chill and we'll see what happens. I think I've gotten the hang of the multi-guest feature on the Live Studio app, but if I haven't, please feel free to check out the info where I've put the Discord link as well. I'm open to any civil discussion, and we're really just asking the question, is America great yet again? I'm Goose, and for the YouTube crowd, I should say like and subscribe so those buttons light up for you. And I think maybe if I say hit the bell, then I think maybe the bell icon might light up too. So I'll say that as well. Who am I? I'm Goose. I react to things. I do live streams. Usually I'm playing video games on those live streams, but that is not a strict criteria for my experience on here. Really what I'm doing is, this is just kind of really therapy for me. And I find it useful to just kind of talk into the darkness, and when viewers join and when they engage too, that's just a bonus for me. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Why are you here? If you're here to lurk, say nothing and I'll understand. So we're just gonna kind of let the algorithm take us here. Although I wish that I had a way to, I don't want, you know, just views. I don't want views that I agree with. I want views that I disagree with. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps this is, oh man, we're making a joke about ICE raids and a joke that Mexican dogs are being deported. It's just a TikTok that does funny things. Okay, well we haven't I don't know. That's strange. That was very strange. I guess we're just going down. I wanted to should be upload date, right? And then keep it, instead of just having the hashtag MAGA. Oh, you know what I should have done is I should, in the titles, I should have put, did we MAGA yet? That would have been more accurate. And then I could have hashtagged that. Ah, see, now we're thinking for next time. Because there will indeed be another Talk Tuesday. Every Tuesday is Talk Tuesday. Here on my live stream, on Malive. Milady Live. Well, now I can do, see, now it doesn't look, it won't look too weird if I put Discord up there. It just looks like I know what I'm, like I'm more organized. Looks like I know what I'm doing, so that's good. We want if not to outwardly know that I know what I'm doing, then we need at least the illusion. So that's a good, it works. I'm into it. Damn, this background music is pretty loud in my ears, but also in this in OBS right now, and I hope not in TikTok Live. Is so sorry if I've been blowing out those eardrums. My apologies. Oh no, it's down. That's fine. That's fine. And also in the chat, let me know if there's any audio issues that you're experiencing, if my mic is too low or too loud. We're looking all right on my end, but just, you know, keep me abreast of the situation. So now I tried to take these, like, you know, go down from here.
Too, but it's bigger and stronger than yours, and mine works.
Where's the level?
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala.
There it is. Okay.
Is at a dance party with Beyonce.
He sounds jealous. He sounds jealous, to be honest. Who would not have wanted to have been at a dance party? Forget a little bit about the, you know, election. That'd be cool. Like, just kind of let loose and let your hair down. Or get your hair did. That would be cool. Like, I would probably glow up for something like that. But let's start this
off. A red button on my desk, meaning a nuclear button. I said, I have a red button on my desk too, but it's bigger and stronger than yours. And
I'm not sure what a bigger, stronger button would mean. I can only assume that, like, it's harder to press. Like, you got to have more arm strength if you want to, like, do like a Chuck Norris into the button to launch the nuke or something. I don't currently know what a stronger button would look like.
Mine works.
What's to say that his doesn't? They've been launching ICBMs like for the last 40 years.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce.
Was this 2024? I mean, isn't there like a huge list of accomplishments that Biden had during his term? Biden accomplishments during term. Okay, American Presidency Project. So, I mean, I get that he's an old man, but so is Trump. He's only 3 years younger than him. Like, they're both old men. The only reason he doesn't want to go to sleep is because he's on speed. And now Elon probably got him on ketamine. You know? Look at him grinding his teeth. Like, look at that.
Go home.
I mean, what are the options here? Either he's on speed or he's got dentures. What about Yo King? Is he toothless or is he unable to maintain his 3-inch popsicle stick? What would you say in a family-friendly way? Popsicle stick. His California legal pocket knife that he keeps inside his pants. There you go. Very creative. I'm a quite creative person. I'm super creative and incredibly smart. So yeah, I mean, there's a pretty big list of accomplishments that Biden, you know, had gotten done in his term. So asleep is a bit loose, I'd say. A bit loosey-goosey. Oh, speaking of, isn't there like a soundboard? Yeah. Cool, huh? I don't think... Is that... Oh, we got it. We got crickets. I think my dog heard that. You hear that? You wagged your tail. There's a golf clap. Nice. What was I talking about? See, that's that ADHD.
Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy.
You can tell that word's very natural for him. What was wrong with it? What happened?
Dance party with Beyonce.
Yeah, okay, we all want to be at a dance party with Beyonce. I don't know any person who wouldn't.
Go home to mommy. Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy.
Who's going home to mommy?
Go home to mommy. He said, I have a...
I don't know, what? They just wanted to put that at the end, just...
All right,
Europe, like a gotcha?
we must rearm. Any thoughts?
Oh, my. I would just have to insult you with my offer. Go ahead, insult her. That's about what it's worth.
Okay, so you don't save your notes.
No. So
you
are we not on MAGA anymore?
Mm-hmm. So we don't
See
have
what happened?
Any of your notes.
See?
Gone.
No, I put all my notes into the report.
Okay, so
What on earth? See what I mean? That was That didn't stay on the MAGA thing, for sure. For sure. So how do you get it to stay with this theme here? I guess I could just open new tabs, I guess. I don't know. Bada bing, bada boom. Unfiltered American? Oh god. Liberals. Tampon, for fuck's sake. President Trump news. I think I read that you can say the F word on TikTok Live, so I'm not as concerned about that as I used to be. Guys, if you're in here, at least stick around for like 2 moments before you click away. I would love to have some conversations, but I gotta have people in here to do so, you know? So come on in. And I guess you don't need to knock. I don't know if there's an internet version of a door knock into somebody's Discord, but I'm ready. Who's making that noise? Is that you? Oh no, she's definitely eating sticks outside. I hear it. You know, the only reason I was concerned before about her eating sticks outside was because the problem was that she had a tooth removed, and so she needed to not chew on things for like 2 weeks, and she definitely was not adhering to that. So, oh, what the mainstream media doesn't want you to see. Wow, okay. Ooh. Oh, it's flag prawn.
Ask me what FDT means, so
Do you not actually know what it is?
Crazy.
Instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. They won't.
Crazy.
What?
Instructions. If they do
Hold on,
it,
what?
they get obliterated.
If Iran takes me out, they get... Oh, okay, gotcha. So more persecution complex. What is it when you think people are like, because you know Hitler was afraid, notoriously paranoid in the last few years of his syphilis battle, was very paranoid that his closest advisors and generals were all turning on him. So I think that's just general paranoia. But it's, I mean, it's pretty easy for a guy like Trump who doesn't think he has a friend in the world. I mean, let's be really, 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 really brutally honest. I mean, if we're speaking from a psychologically as neutral as we can be standpoint, the man knows he doesn't have any friends. He's gotta know. He cannot be that delusional. If you are consistently denied love by your loved ones, then I would say that the chances that you're not at some point going to do some self-reflection, even if it's just a bare basic minimum, like just realizing what's happening and still wanting to stay a douchebag, I would say that the chances of someone not doing that type of introspection would be like winning the lottery chances. So there's got to be some point. Just, I feel like it's logical to assume that there is some point where he knows, like he's realized that he doesn't have a friend in the world, and it can lead to that kind of paranoia.
Crazy.
Somebody said, "Who's the genius that thought of that?" I said, "It's me." Unlike Biden, I stay awake at night thinking about how to save our country. He was much better at sleeping than me. He could sleep on a beach. He could sleep on a beach with cameras rolling. I can't do that. Somebody said,
I mean, I don't I don't support the whole like just being a bully to people, but you're describing an old man who's seems to be quite chill, especially sleeping on a beach with Secret Service around. That's someone who can actually get comfortable in a situation where you're almost never alone, and yet it's not like you're really able to relate to any of these people, so you're just kind of like handled all day long. I think being able to fall asleep on a beach signals that either you're having trouble staying awake, which old people do, or you're pretty generally satisfied with your life and you're comfortable letting your guard down. I don't know. I'm willing to take either as a good sign. You know, you don't necessarily have to never sleep to be an effective president. That's a very strange assessment.
Who's the genius that thought of that? I said,
Oh, I thought it was still going. Now let's see if it goes to another hashtag MAGA one from this video.
I refuse to question the qualifications of a woman who's worn the uniform of her nation for 22 years and never taken it off.
Who is this
No
about?
fewer than 5 times has the Department of Defense
Did he say Fuhrer?
reviewed her security clearance and extended it.
What is it? What is that about? What's the matter here? Who do we stand with? Who is that? If somebody knows better than I do, what are we talking about here? Strategic and international studies? What? Well, I'll come back to it and I'll address it if I can.
Gets me about liberals. They're gonna.
Oh man, I love the music choice. This is what gets me about liberals. Dun 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 dun. Why you no like to wave the flag? Bum 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 bum.
Die on the hill that this gentleman was somehow a MAGA Republican.
Uh-oh. Is this something that aged like milk?
Just because some fat boyfriend that he supposedly allegedly lived with, even though he
The Venn diagram between closeted homosexuality and Republicans overlaps quite a bit.
has a home.
Maybe if this is something you're insecure about, it might be something you need to talk to a qualified professional for.
With his wife and kids, says so, but yet also won't let you read any of the text messages. Like break this down for me.
So it's a conspiracy. So let's strip it all down into nothing here. Let's just strip it all down into just an opinion. Isn't that a leap? So you hear that, you know, some lawmakers have been gunned down in their home, and in the newscast, the person who lives with that person describes them as a friend, talks about them as a friend, and describes how unbelievable it is that they could ever be involved in something like that, but also says he would have been offended if you called him a liberal. He didn't say he was MAGA, he didn't say he was he said he voted for Trump, but he also said that he didn't like Pelosi, and that he didn't like, if you hear someone talking on Fox, that's pretty much this guy's profile. And wait, no, sorry. You said you had a question for the liberals, so I'll just address you specifically in this clip. I'm clicking on the say hi thing in the TikTok app. So just be so kind as to say hi back, all right? I just need engagement here, all right? But if you like, stick around and talk about the gosh darn question, which is somewhere in an app, in whatever app, it's somewhere in there, and it says, "Is America great yet?" Again. And I'm Goose, as I said before. I'm gonna have to mention that a lot because TikTok moves at lightning pace for some reason. I don't know. It's like everybody's in a hurry, so I have to say it, or else nobody's gonna hear it. I'm Goose. Hello. Talk Tuesdays. Open discussion. 11 to 2. Bada bing, bada boo. you want to talk to me about anything religion, political related, I'm down to do so. But the question for the day is America great yet again? Or did we MAGA yet? Which I guess is a good, that's probably the best alternative. Next Talk Tuesday, if we stay on the same subject, it'll be that. There you go. You know what to look forward to. This guy's asking a question for liberals. I figure I might as well answer.
So this is what gets me about liberals.
Oh no, sorry, he wasn't asking a question. He was saying what grinds his gears. What grinds? Oh my god. What grinds his gears about liberals. So let's just assume, because of what he's saying, I'm just going to take everything he says at face value. He is saying that all liberals, which accounts for at least 50% of the country, at last count, it was like 60 to 70%, but you know, you guys, I'm sure, would have different numbers that you trust for some reason. But let's just say that it's 50-50. All right? It would be weird and not very smart to assume, which let's not do too many ad hominems, but the point that I'm trying to make is that you know, it's a bit of a leap to assume that all liberals are some way, but that's fine. I'm gonna bear with it. Let's just assume that you are giving most people the benefit of the doubt here, and that you don't just mean several hundreds of millions of people.
They're gonna die on the hill.
Die on the hill meaning they will not resist from their spot in an argument, which I would say that most educated people who have some amount of self-awareness are open to discussion. Literally the reason for this stream. If any of you want to jump in and chat a bit, that's what we're doing here.
This gentleman was somehow a MAGA Republican.
We're going by the same news that you are.
Just because some fat boyfriend that he supposedly allegedly lived with.
Allegedly is a strong qualifier, knowing that the guy was standing literally outside of his house when he was being interviewed by the news. I get it. It's hard to accept. And you've also tacked on this idea that he was his boyfriend. So I think there's a couple of things that could be going on here. Either this guy's closeted and the story triggered him because he kind of thought about what the rest of us was thinking, that it was pretty weird that that this guy had a roommate and was like MAGA, you know, but also the percentage of people who live the lives of MAGA, like repressed fundamentalists, you know, whatever constriction your life has had on you, you probably grew up in a position where you could not come out if you wanted to. So perhaps that just got buried down deep. And this guy's insecurity might also be kind of a trigger of something that, you know, maybe he's also buried down deep because it resonates and maybe he relates a little bit. Either way, or he could just be, you know, assuming that he's a liberal still, regardless of whatever a news report said, and he's then like making fun of him because he doesn't like gay people, and he's saying, oh, you know, this guy's boyfriend, strange allegedly roommate, even though he lived with his wife and kids.
Even though he has a home with his wife and kids, says so. But yet
So
also
now, I just want to take one moment, and I just want to ask this guy if I could like send this question into the heavens. I just want to ask this guy, what possible reasons would a man his age, from whatever era he's from, as you can probably guess from his age, 60s, you know, he's probably back from the 60s, right? When being gay wasn't okay. What reasons do you think that a married man with children might have a separate home that he shares with a roommate? especially a church-going man. What reasons possibly, I mean, it's really not hard to just put those little dots together. It really is not hard. Really close, gamer buds, let me tell you. Real close, gamer buds. There's a whole sub dedicated to it. It's called Sappho and Her Friend. It is insanely hilarious. I love the fact that there are still people out there who are like, oh, isn't it precious? They're hanging out together. They've been friends for 40 long years. They even lived together at one point. Their husbands were twin brothers. It's a little kooky, right? It's a little kooky. Oh shit, I think they were gay. Oh, god damn it. What? Oh, you can see that because I was accidentally highlighting something on the display for some reason. Don't know why I was doing that.
Won't let you read any of the text messages.
I mean, it just keeps telling itself. The story just keeps telling itself. So, again, I gotta wonder why you can't just smart it up. They're really close roommates. He's got a separate house with his wife and kids, and he won't let you take a look at their text messages? I mean, perhaps there's a reason.
Like, break this down for me.
I just did.
A guy that was appointed by Tim Walz then goes and...
Any politician can appoint anyone that they believe is the best for the job that they're appointing them for. I don't know why that would be an anomaly. There are plenty of politicians, Republicans and liberals, who work with each other, Republicans, Democrats, who work with each other, so weird.
Kills 2 Democrats, the only 2 Democrats to vote with Republican.
I mean, again, if you look at his history, he was clearly anti-abortion, and the person he tried to kill and the person he killed were very strongly against anti-abortion legislation. So pretty adherent, I think is the better way to say that, to the brief. So, and the manifesto, I believe. Completely forgetting about that, this dude, I guess. Me structure sentence weird, thank you.
And taking away aid from illegal immigrants. Now, how does that make sense that he would be
voting? Well, it's because liberals don't, or Democrats don't all share the same friggin' values. There's such a thing as centrism. And I like it. I see, for these people especially, and I think it's especially easy for religious people to fall into this kind of mentality, but it's like us versus them, holy war kind of status for these people. Like, they're very happy to paint an entire half of the country, hundreds of millions of people, all with the same brush. Kind of like how, you know, if a lot of them don't like black people, a lot of them don't like gay people, a lot of them don't like trans people. It kind of seems like birds of a feather all just kind of flocking together. I mean, if you don't want to be associated with that, maybe you should leave the MAGA crowd. By the way, today's question is America great yet? Again? I'm your pal Goose, and we're here till 2. Now, if I don't get any active discussion going, then we're just gonna dip into some chill Monster Train 2, but that's just so that I can pass the time and so that I'm not dying from ADHD. But I can't react all day. That's just, well, not all day, you get what I'm saying. I can't react for 3 straight hours.
a MAGA conservative? It makes 0 sense.
That would be a bag of conservative? I think that's a better term, honestly.
The only way it makes any splickety sense.
What? Splickety sense?
Makes any splickety sense is if you have 0 critical thinking skills.
Oh no. Oh, honey. Oh, baby boy. Oh, God, I'm gonna shed a tear. Ouch. That both hurts and makes me sad. I am so sorry for this person. Ah, man. That's a big oof from me. You know, oof, God, that made me cringe, like, internally, if you catch my drift. Cynical, are you one of those people that have been playing Dune lately? I bought it and I didn't realize other people were playing it. Don't want to play copyrighted content, thank you. That is gonna be what I'm playing. Why does it look like I'm looking at the other side of this? It's like a mirrored. It's like Ark. It's essentially Ark. If you played any of those types of games, you've played Dune. The biggest danger in servers where PvP, I don't know if PvP is globally a thing that can be enabled, but really the only danger is like sandworms and getting tagged by those ships. So I'm down. I'm absolutely down. See, this is what Talk Tuesdays is for. This is exactly what Talk Tuesdays is for. I'm down to deviate from the MAGA stuff to talk about Dune because I've been all up in it. I have been words deep in it. Words you can't say deep in it. And it's kind of reawakening my love for that type of game. And I played Ark, but I had a bit of a traumatic experience with it. I mostly play solo. I didn't really grow up with friends who played computers. All my friends were console gamers, and so I just kind of got used to playing by myself. And when I was in like my early 20s and early 30s, holy shit, I'm old. I didn't like actively seek people to play games with. I had a couple of friends who I played like WoW occasionally with, and sometimes some of the survival games, but I was mostly by myself. Now, I played Ark like really, you know, I'd say I have like a few hundred hours in Ark, and one of my favorite things ever is like base building and doing what a lot of people would describe as the BITCH work. And not that I think that is what it is. Like, I don't agree that that's, you know, that word work. I think that it's important, but I used to love being the guy that does all of the tedious gathering and crafting, and I love like making things, you know, go, and like industry. So I was just kind of soloing on a beach or whatever, chilling. It's, you know, newbie beach in Ark. Like, I didn't realize that you could really like get much further in. I just kind of like whatever. I had a couple of farming dodos, I think. This is way back when Ark started, like before really anything. They didn't even have I think they had rideable dinos, but it was like just when they had just implemented rideable dinos, and my friend was like, you can ride dinosaurs, and I was like, okay. And then the second that we got it, he stopped playing. So, but I found a couple of random guys while I was doing my, way before the Vin Diesel era. I found a couple of random guys while I was doing my thing, and it was a crew of like 3 or 4, and they and I just kind of like, we were trading back and forth, doing a bunch of you know, just like I was giving them extra supplies, they were giving me weapons and stuff, and it was like a mutual trade sort of thing. And then they asked me if I wanted to join, and so I did. They basically had me build their base for them, and then they accused me of stealing all of their stuff, even though like where the fudge would I have put it? Oh, I guess you could just like have like a base thing, a flare, and then put a chest down hidden somewhere. Whatever. I'm not sneaky enough to do that kind of stuff. But so, well, even though I'm thinking of it just now, whatever. That's I actually thought to myself, how would I do it? And then I just came up with the idea. But in real time, I would not have been thinking about that, especially not, you know, 15 years ago. Holy crap, I'm old. So like they accused me of stealing all their stuff, and they kicked me out of their thing, which means like all the things that I had gathered, all of my stuff, everything that I had transferred over to their base was now theirs. So they took it all from me, and that was like 40 hours of work. And I kept going, but I just never played with anyone again after that. And I think it kind of killed the experience for me. And so now I'm just like I was like, nah, screw Ark for like the longest time. And I started playing on like the you know, local server, like just you know, private, whatever, like when you play a single player game. And that was fun, but it didn't have the same like discovery, you know. You're like, oh wow, there's another person over here, and then you're like watching them from afar, and you're like, whoa, what are they up to? And you're like, are they hostile? Do you think they're friendly? Like there isn't that tension there. And what are you doing? What was that? Oh no! Well, my dog laid in some poop, so I've got to just clean her off real quick. Come on. No, don't lay down. No, don't lay down. It's okay. It's okay. You're okay. All right, I'm gonna go clean her up. Oh, this is what puppies do. Really basic thing about life. I thought that was a simple thing to understand, you know? Luckily it didn't stain her first. So she is, I don't know if I've ever shown like close up, well, you know, she has an Instagram, so you know, you can follow that if you want. It's my wife's. She started it. I mean, I find it strange, but it's cool. Like I like it. Strange, but I like it. It's cute. It's endearing. It only makes me love my wife more. But I would not be doing an account for my dog if it was simply up to me. But so she's like show quality. She looks show quality. Like she is just a very, very, very beautiful dog. So it makes sense that she's having like that she has these weird quirks, because like all of my dogs have all had strange quirks. Like one of them thinks they're human, one of them thinks they're a dog or a cat. My dog thinks it's a dog. Can you imagine? But it's hilarious because they all are just so strange and so different. And she's like, she could be in books, she could be in calendars or whatever, you know, whatever the pinnacle of dog models are, but she could be one. That's for darn sure. Oh well, TikTok Live is just dead now. I was getting like, it's so weird. Cynical, I don't know if you're an active streamer, if you stream on live or TikTok Live or whatever, but it's like you'll get 5 viewers and then you'll get 0 viewers, and then you'll get 3 viewers and then 0 viewers, and then 10 viewers and then 0 viewers, and then like it'll show all these people joining. They have like the say hi button there, and so you, oh yeah, cool, I'll do that. But then you'd like goes down to 0, and it's been 0 now for a while. So yeah, well, Twitch is like old hat for me. Like I know that I'm using an ancient term because I'm ancient, but Twitch is like, you know, what I've been streaming on since I was just back in the early days, and I'm feeling like it's really the only reliable platform right now. Sorry, TikTok. Probably not supposed to be saying that on TikTok. It's like get their snipers up on the roof. Yeah, this dog is also she likes to get on her hinders, but only when she's on a walk. So it's still pretty weird because then strangers see it. But she lays down and poop for some reason. I don't know why she does that. She actually just doesn't care. She has no spatial awareness because she's constantly stepping on her little sisters. Like they're like still 3/4 of her size, but she just like steps on them like they're not even there, and then she'll like lay down on them. It's very cute. No, and I didn't have TikTok either. She's only 7 months, but the other dogs are several years. There's the black one is I think maybe 5 or 6 years now, and then the golden one is nearing 16, 17. She's the one that just passed was a little over 18. So she's getting there too, and I don't know if I can handle another one going this soon. It's like, ugh, I hate it. So yeah, that was my. I didn't like that about TikTok either, but apparently now they're doing this whole like reformation thing where they're trying to say like, oh, we love landscape stuff now. So I don't, and I wasn't part of it, or I wasn't like on TikTok long enough to have appreciated it before, so I have no like frame of reference for something that I think is like, you know, whatever. Gotta make sure she doesn't have any poop on her. It's gonna have to be a thing we check now. Alright. Although it was very obvious when she came in because it smelled terrible. She smelled terrible. So, you know, pretty gross. Real fun.
Warned that any protests on Saturday would be met with
This sounds really loud to me. I don't know if it sounds really loud to you, but I'm gonna take that down.
force. Can you clarify what kind of
Protests will be met with force. Can you clarify what kind of protest?
President Trump does support or find acceptable?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say that, you know, she's gonna probably go into some diatribe about how protest is a cornerstone of patriotism. It's a cornerstone of our country. It's one of the building blocks. We appreciate whatever. She's gonna say some like canned response, but then she's gonna say that the majority of everything that was happening was not peaceful, even though that's just a bunch of bullshit. Let's see how right I am. Let's see how my ESPN is working.
President absolutely supports peaceful protests. He supports the First Amendment. He supports the right of Americans to make their voices heard. He does not support violence of any kind. He does not support assaulting law enforcement officers who are simply trying to do their job. It's very clear.
We're talking about throwing empty water bottles. There were some, I mean, I will absolutely acknowledge that there were some like bricks and that, yes, they were lighting cars on fire. I get it. I understand. It's not a difficult situation to understand. There's a lot of talk floating around it, so I get it. I understand.
Clear for the president what he supports and what he does not. Unfortunately for
we'll say that we agree to disagree on that one.
Democrats, that line has not been made clear, and they've allowed this unrest and this violence to continue, and the president has had to step in.
Now, you see what I mean? She didn't say it then, but I did hear an earlier soundbite of her saying the majority of what's happening has not been peaceful, which is just, you know, dishonest. That's leave it. I was gonna try and make a joke about like I could take it or leave it, but it didn't happen. What?
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to Vice President Vance, and thank you to our wonderful First Lady.
I don't know what they're pointing out.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we
This is
are
just-
going that have no incentive to work, but they're going to have incentive to work.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, it's hard to find just straight up MAGA clips. It's weird. Dead internet. Is that AI?
The White House, home of the U.S.
Oh, no, it's
president,
like a-
is considered
Well, of course, I mean, yeah, it's AI, but it's like a weird.
one of the safest buildings in the world.
Okay. It's like a weird action comic thing, like they have for some comic books. Pretty weird. Oh, Trump faced vicious attacks. Okay, vicious attacks. Let's see what the
Incredibly
vicious
hard,
attack
and they
is.
threw so much at him over that 10-year period.
10-year period?
A lot would be an understatement. And by the way, that's why they came after him. He continued to flick the hornet's nest time and time again. And Maria, they came after him viciously, as you know better than anybody. I mean, you did a better job covering it, you know.
Incredibly hard, and they threw so
What? Vicious attacks. What? We have detected inactivity. Yeah, because nobody's chatting in the live. It's your own platform, TikTok. It's saying we've detected inactivity. To keep the live open, you need to like have people talk. Well, yeah. Well aware. Ay. Don't you tell me. You tell yourself, TikTok. Do you smell stinky? Do you smell stinky? You lay down and poop again? Sure. Okay. Seems clean. Seems clean. We're vigilant. We're on poop watch now. Unfortunately, it's got to be like that. She made it. She made the poop bed, and she's gonna have to lay in it now. Well, she did already, so. Okay, so they use the same thing that I do, Opus Clip, but they're doing like, they're doing the thing where you just spam like 10 videos, like 10 clips all at the same time. Whereas I don't do that. I maybe only spam 1 or 2 clips. Yeah. You'll get less spam from me. Exactly. Let's see, we are still in like anti-MAGA territory, I think. Is this satire? Will this be satire?
I'm a Christian too. I want to help out the poor, but I see systems of success are better than handouts.
as a Christian to go out.
Well, the US has systems to help the poor, but every single year Republicans vote to make it more and more restrictive, and now they're voting to just cut it entirely. Well, not entirely. Now they're voting to just cut money from its funding. So if you want to support those civil services, you need to vote for the policies that embolden and fund them, rather than encouraging things like Doge, which was proven to be ineffective, and encouraging things like that, you know, where we would indeed then just cut parts of those civil services out. I mean, vote for Trump all you want, but he's made it very clear that he thinks that SNAP and Medicare and Medicaid are basically handouts. So if you're trying to help the poor, voting for Trump is probably not the best step to take.
Out and spread the message of Jesus Christ.
She said, as a Christian, I think it's important to spread the message, or to go out and spread the message of Jesus Christ.
What's going on right now? The message of Jesus Christ is love your neighbor as yourself. That's the golden rule. He
was only talking about other Hebrews, for one.
The only rule. Love your neighbor as yourself and love God with all your heart and all your might and your mind. And I do not see that happening in our government.
So for me, like, I'm a Christian too. I want to help out the poor, but I see systems of success are better than handouts. So would you?
Like SNAP and Medicaid and Medicare and the Affordable Care Act, you really have to have been, yeah, Trump was born with a silver spoon in his mouth anyway. You have to have been on the other side, like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm going to refamiliarize myself with
better than
systems of success. Yes. So you have to assume implicitly that all the talking points of the right are correct and that there's nothing but corruption on the left, on the left, which isn't true. So already you're starting from a place of understanding that everyone on the left is corrupt and only uses taxpayer funds to enrich themselves, when I would argue that it's all politicians that do that. Democrats tend to be better at hiding it, but you know, Republicans tend to just do it outright, and so it's easier to call out when it happens. But nobody should be doing that, and not as many people as they think are doing that are doing that. Doge proved it, unfortunately for them. They said they were going to save like 1.3 trillion, and I think they only got around to like 80 something billion or million, even million, I think. Yeah. Nothing to the scale that they were thinking. And when interviewed, they said that the government was actually pretty well run. It was pretty tight, pretty good oversight, you know, like, yeah, I don't. So if you implicitly believe, like you were brought up and it's one of your core beliefs that the left is just nothing but evil, corrupt, and using that money that they say is funding benefits for the poor for just to enrich themselves, in order to think that it's a good idea to vote for someone who wants to do away with those systems entirely. And that's a false basis from the get-go. So it makes me sad for people who claim they want to help. And I don't know that this guy's being dishonest. That's sort of like my trigger. That's like me getting pissed at the idea and then saying like, this guy like purposely wants to hurt people, because that's the first conclusion I come to, and which is like, I guess maybe that's fatigue from just seeing all the content from the right. But well, yeah, I mean, like it's very strange. And the idea that like people, you know, lifting themselves up from their bootstraps is really an elitist based idea in the first. What are you doing? Do you see her in the background? She is letting herself, well, she was letting herself just melt down the stairs. She's so weird. She's so weird. She's such a strange pup.
Handouts. So would you agree, disagree, or?
Well, it depends on the situation. It depends. And like I said, there's nothing black and white. We have
to him, SNAP and welfare are the handouts. That's what he's saying. He's saying that those are handouts, and that's not the case. You have to qualify. And not even then, but like it's not even that you have to qualify, it's that you have to abide by some pretty strict criteria. I was on SNAP. You have to abide by some pretty strict criteria to stay on SNAP, and I kept dipping in and out of the criteria and became like, got disqualified, got qualified, disqualified, qualified, and it's nebulous what that criteria is. Like, they just require that you do like job searching or that you be depressed, which how do you prove that? Like, I think it was from the amount of emails that I sent them complaining about their system that they were finally like, whatever, just put them on the disabled list. And I mean, I do have depression, so that's like, I mean, I guess that's fine. Depression is something to me that can be managed, so it's not something that really affects my everyday life, but I would say that I have depression, like clinical depression. And so for them, apparently that's enough. Like, whatever. It's like I said, it's nebulous.
give them the tools to help themselves, and we're not doing that. You know, most of the Republicans that I know now not in the past, they think all of us Democrats, social, you know, all of this, you know, we want to be a socialist society, and that's not necessarily true. But we do want to empower people to.
So the things that the left takes from socialism and communism are the best bits, the parts where people help each other, the part where you build a community and then you enrich that community instead of having one person lead a community and then you enrich that one person. It's all for one as opposed to one for all. And you know, whatever. There's good. Ugh. Oh, I almost choked on my own spit there. There are arguments that can be made for both populism and like a utopian society, and I mean, I don't know if there's other convincing arguments that could be made in favor of capitalism. I'm not an economist, so I don't know that. I have to check and see if you have poop. Okay. All right. Stay out of the poop. But yeah, when people express communist ideas, they're talking about welfare, they're talking about healthcare, they're talking about a universal basic income, they're talking about things that benefit people. And kids, God love kids all the way up until about 28, 29, but they think they know everything, and they're so passionate and so easily enraged by social injustice, and I love it. And I love that level of dedication to core values, especially that we're seeing an uptick in that in recent years. I love that. I would love to see it keep going. But also, kids don't really speak for everyone. I mean, I guess that's a weird, it's a weird simplification to make, but kids don't really speak for the kids. I guess they can only really speak for their generation, right? Like, I don't know. I think you either become more conservative as you get older, or your eyes just become, your perspective becomes greater. And I think that a lot of that is through lived experience. And I think that a lot of people who live average lives don't really get exposed to the same bullshit that people who spent, you know, decades on the bottom rung of society have experienced. So yeah, Japan, I love the fact that every documentary I've seen about Japan is so crazy different, at like, because they're like all made by people who are further along in the timeline. And like, you'd see a documentary about World War II, limited, I usually from a different perspective, so less limited, but and then you'd see like the making of, I don't know, Toho era Godzilla, or you'd see like a Kurosawa film, or the making of, same sort of thing. And then nowadays in like travel shows and things like that, it's like so radically different. And people, I remember the one thing that I heard about that changed super radically because the population was aging, is that sushi was the #1 food in Japan until like 1989, 1990, and then it became the burger. Pretty interesting. Now it's like a whole host of stuff, but I think soba became the national dish again, or it might be sushi again. Yeah, Alan Sorkin, I forget what his name was, but he was an American who came over to Japan to learn Japanese ramen, and then he opened up a shop in Tokyo, I think, serving like American style ramen, but it was Tantan Man. Or no, it was I think it was just shoyu. It was a shoyu ramen. He had a shio ramen, and he was just doing like chicken base, and everyone loved it. And he was on like Japanese TV, and then he went to New York, and opened a ramen place, and people didn't like it as much, and so then he went back to Japan, and I think he lives in New York now again, but it's just funny. How's value higher than whatever say? Oh yeah. Well, think about their economy, like how much of a roller coaster it's been on since what, the last 60 years. It's like China only recently eclipsed places like Japan, I believe, with for the most millionaires per capita. It was us for a long time, and then it was Austria. Is some like Swiss country or some, like, I don't know, something like that. So yeah, it's still going with my
Two police officers
algorithm,
were fired upon with a shotgun, and one of the officers shouted,
right?
"Cover me!" to the Marine. Show me a word that rhymes with pavement. Two police
right?
officers.
Is this still? Or is this MAGA?
Start, not me. Go ahead. Let's do it again. Let's start over. Yeah.
Oh, Ted, we're actually.
I don't think that's MAGA anymore. We're still looking for shitty MAGA takes. You don't burn my flag. Well, I mean, who cares? It's not like, you know, no one really gives a shit about a flag. Old MAGA grandpa. Handsome liberal. See, these are all like, they're probably either making fun of or debunking the MAGA stuff. Yeah, I know. I have two accounts, and one of them was being used for research, and I just started watching my regular videos on it, and then now it's switched back to videos that I like watching, but then it went back to but then I had screwed up this algorithm, so I went to that one, and now they're both just the same. Whatever. It's fine. What? What happened? What happened? My music died. The day the music died. Oh, my earphones are no longer. That's what it is. I think it might be that I am in this chat channel. Would that be it? Yeah, I was doing a voice test. Yeah, I think that's it. Don't want to do that. Let me I'll move. It looks like the music's still playing in a different thing, like for you guys, but it's not playing for me. And I think what's doing that is my voice and video settings here. You know, I think I just need to get out of the voice chat for the time being. And then I will enter when somebody joins. How do I exit a voice channel? How do I do that? How do I? Okay, I disconnected. We're good. Now I just need to make sure that I don't dox myself. There we go. All right, we're back. Still don't have sound. my other thing? Oh yeah. Weird. Okay, it just went out in my... Oh, it probably dropped down to mono. Oh wait, no, I couldn't hear this either. Weird.
Iran
Whatever.
tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Oh, for fuck's sake. But they are really just... They're trying anything they can, aren't they? My God. So, I guess we're assuming that it was a conspiracy from Iran?
You said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes.
So the two... Is that what they're talking about? The two that happened during the election cycle? Is he saying... Please tell me that's not what he's saying. Or is he saying that, like, they stopped assassination attempts from people in Iran and that's why they bombed them?
Through their intel, yes, they want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one. He's a decisive leader. He never took the path that others took to try to bargain with him in a way that is weak, giving them basically a pathway to enrich uranium, which means a pathway to the bomb, padding it with...
Is he saying that they would dislike someone who gave them a pathway to more nuclear weapons over someone who took a strong stance against that? Because that's a load of bullshit.
Billions and billions of dollars. He took up this fake agreement and basically tore it up. He killed Qasem Soleimani. He said, made it very clear, including now, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, which means you cannot enrich. He's been very forceful. So for them, he's enemy number one. Look, they also tried to kill me.
What?
But I'm his junior partner.
When did
they
you
understand that President Trump is a great threat to Iran's plans to weaponize nuclear weapons and use them?
When did you say?
I mean, that's two different points that he just made. He had said that... Hey, what's up, dude? How's it going? He had said that he's a threat to Iran because he has a strong stance, or because he's a strong leader, according to Netanyahu. And then he said that it's better than negotiating, you know, somebody who's weak negotiating, especially giving them a pathway to uranium, enriched uranium, which I would assume they would like as a country that wants to have some nuclear arsenal, over just someone going like, nuh-uh, sir. So it's a little weird that would be the point. But then he says later on that Trump is bad for them because, well, yeah, Trump hasn't had any involvement in any of that stuff, as far as I'm aware. He said that today he was going to be coming back home, avoiding Zelensky, to hammer out the deal, to make sure that he's doing all this, like, you know, deal, the art of the deal, you know, art of the deal. Art of the deal. That is insane to me, though. Oh, and I think I lost my place. Damn it.
We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy.
Nuh-uh. Just saying. Nuh-uh. I mean, I think that for the majority of his professional life, he's kind of relied on the success of other people to make him successful. So there's every chance that he could just continue to ride this wave into his grave. That's fine. More power to you, but it would be much better if, you know, he could not be in power doing that. You know, just don't be in power. Just go golfing, you know? Everybody loves to golf. Everyone. That is a scientific fact. Nobody dislikes golfing. Nobody on the planet ever has disliked golfing. Ever in the history of the planet. Which, according to some people, is only 6,000 years old. So, yeah. I mean, I think that the culprit of that is both sides of the issue. The culprit of that is American exceptionalism and the outside perception of that, but a lot of it is also the determination that other countries have made after we have time and time again continued to put people in power that don't belong in power. So, I mean, it's really our fault that any of this is happening, and it's probably our responsibility to make things better. But that requires that people all be on the same page, and that I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. If anything, it's just going to get worse from here. So I hope not, but what the right also doesn't realize is that the left has more guns and the military. So I mean, the overwhelming majority of the military supports progressive values, though the guys in the boots may not, but the organizations themselves do, and the guys in the boots would eat their own shoes over disobeying a direct order. So they've been conditioned real good, indoctrinated, but disciplined. That's discipline, right? Just to address this title, I don't think that he's going to look happy on any of his birthdays. Just to be completely honest.
To give one of those organs to that person so that they could survive. Otherwise, it would be at least manslaughter, at worst murder. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think it's just a difference of opinion at that point. I think you'd be a very, very good person to do so. Maybe even just.
Okay. So we agree. So there's a morality. So we have now built a good in sacrificing something you might not need but can inconvenience you to help somebody else. So therefore, obligated to give one of those organs to that person so that they could survive. Otherwise, it would be at least manslaughter, at worst murder. Yes.
Okay. Well.
I'm confused. Is it talking about assisted self deletion? That's what it sounds like he was talking about. Oh, see, no, I'm getting too many people that I agree with. So that's why it has to be upload date. You're right. I just gotta have a different account for so that I get sort of this stuff magneted. What do you got to search for stuff like that? I think you got to be like, how to get them liberals out of my pool, or like how to tell them liberals that trans women are just confused boys. Like, right? Like, don't I have to like type in that stuff, right? Search for it or engage with it or something. Oh, James Comer has made a savage shutdown?
I'd like to seek unanimous consent to enter into the record this tweet. Just happened. Stunning. Senator Alex Padilla from California was just forcibly removed from the news conference being held by
Yeah, I had lost my Twitter account for a while, and then so I had started a new one, and it showed me some crazy white supremacist stuff. Crazy. I could not account for it, nor will I. Nor will I.
Objection's ordered. You just have to state the title. Go ahead.
This is the title.
Mr. Lynch. Chair recognizes Mr. Lynch.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I have a unanimous consent request.
I'm sorry. What?
Into the record this tweet. Just happened. Stunning. Senator Alex Padilla from California was just forcibly removed from the news conference being held by
Without objections ordered. You just have to state the title. Go ahead.
This is the title.
Mr. Lynch. Chair recognizes Mr. Lynch.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I have a unanimous consent request.
This was a takedown? I guess? Oh, I'm sure they have. Like people who do those kinds of set up the apps. This was not a takedown, by the way. I don't know why this was supposed to be just another, you know, more AI slop. That's okay. I get it. I understand. Yeah, I'm sure that they've done all the metrics on that. I'm sure they get paid like millions of dollars to determine like how to best set those things up. Like, I guarantee you. Well, I don't know if any of these are going to be stances I agree or disagree with, but let's just check them out anyway. Let's just check them out anyway. Also, if you are chatting in the, well, if you're not, you're obviously not chatting in the live studio app, but if you are requesting to join up and I don't see it, let me know, because I don't know how that app works. So I mean, yeah, I agree that there's, or I think that it's probably both, and that there are platforms that probably do utilize some sneaky tactics, but also, I mean, I would assume that there's just been some empirical data gathered on that. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me that that vulnerable people just kind of slip into that shit. Dude, like when they did the first Donald Trump election, they the alt-right was like pumped up like 1,000 times like what it was before. Remember they were all over YouTube. Gavin McGinnis, and that's how what's his face, Ben Shapiro, got his start. All like failed comedians and failed like writers who just like went to YouTube en masse. Like, didn't they realize that they were all funded by like some Russian oligarch or some shit? I don't remember, but yeah, that was really, really active during the Russian disinformation campaign the first time around. And I guarantee you, like that's like specifically targeted, and like they had those performative hearings, you know, of Twitter, where they were like, how come I can email you and get a post removed from your platform? What? How do I block other people? You can see that I post when I post things. What is this? It's technology. It's not that weird. I mean, we've all seen this before. This is clearly one of those propaganda videos. So we've caught something obviously in the middle. So we are there's no context here. You know, it'd be great if there was some, but there is no context here. It's just a caption that is saying whatever message they want to push, and they're showing you something that is probably going to get you fired up. But let's see if there's any actual speech in here that would indicate what's going on. Do something. Do something. Do something. Do something.
I don't give a fuck. Don't ever say some fucked up disrespectful shit like that to me again. Like I said, do something. Don't you ever disrespect a grown-ass man like that again. I will fuck you up. I'm a grown-ass man, so I'm all in your face.
I'm a big boy.
All out of time.
I'm a big boy.
Say some dirty shit like that to me again.
So, what I think I'm seeing here, oh my god, it's that fucking Culinary Misfits guy. What the fuck is happening? What is happening? This son of a bitch. Look at him. There's no way that it's not him. There's no way. It can't be him.
Do something.
I think it's just a guy that looks like him. But still, I hate that guy. It's clear that the person who posted this, their intent is clear. But what it also looks like is that they just kind of wanted to post an L, but post it as a W. So what's happening here is the MAGA guy is getting into some protester's face, wanting to elicit a fight because he said, do something. I'm a big boy. Do something. I'm a big man. I'm a big man. Do something. And they're framing it as being the Democrats' plan to create civil unrest and a feeling of animosity. So it thinks that it being the person that created this thinks that there's some conspiracy, or not thinks, could be selling that there is some conspiracy. Just ain't, I mean, it feels like, why, you know what, it feels like it's not even worth it to give this video the dignity of a real assessment, because it's just made in bad faith. Bidenomics in effect? What on earth? And people swallow this stuff. They just swallow it hook, line, and sinker. Like, they think, oh, you know, those evil Democrats, they're sitting inside their chambers just wringing their hands going like, how can we mess with the American people today? How can we create civil unrest? Give me that baby. I need to suck its blood. That just ain't happening. I got a little immersed there. Sorry.
So what do you think?
Just happened.
Think Trump's gonna listen now?
Well, this is, I think they're, yeah, this probably agrees with my stances. I do that. I think there already are. I think that, like, they on Instagram is like just full of AI stuff.
Seeing all these videos right now.
Some of that is like
all these farmers.
Like, they're trying to pass it off as real, but it's like Democrats doing like crazy stuff. Democrats doing crazy stuff.
Are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why?
What?
Because they ain't never got no help in the first place.
Oh, okay. I mean, kudos. I mean, cheers, sister. You know what? Any movement in the right direction is a good thing. So I'm glad that she's taken up arms for the black farmers of America. Yeah, I mean, you go. I mean, that's like, I'm okay with that. I'm into it. You fucking get it.
FYI, there were 2,100
get that social change.
Protests in the United States, amounting to millions of Americans.
Over 11 million.
Protesting against the Trump administration. Do you know how many showed up to the big parade? About 10,000.
Mike is 7. I've done this before. I've engaged in this type of back and forth before. I'm not opposed to it, but I think that it's important to have a policy that I don't just do this thing. Like, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing just to listen to your music. Not that I'm trying to be a dick face, but it's a little spammy. So if you're down to, you know, watch, and then maybe we can organically work our way up to listening to your music, that's fine. But I am not a platform that people would use to promote things on. Let's just assume that I was saying a very kind and civil no to you, Mike. However, if you were interested in having a discussion about any of the stuff that I'm talking about here, or if you want to address the question of, is America great yet again, then I'm down to do that. Otherwise, just take the no and move right on, my friend. I don't decry what you're doing. Get that hustle. But, you know, this just ain't the right place for it. Time and a place, my friend. Time and a place. Although if you want to have an open discussion about how important it is to promote music in the industry, I am happy to talk about that too, because this is Talk Tuesdays. We're here for open discussion. And if you want to know more about why I'm saying a very kind and civil no, then I'm happy to talk about it. Remember, Talk Tuesdays don't work without the talk. I just came up with that. That's not like a motto or anything that I've been saying for a while. That's a right off the top of my head right there. Talk Tuesdays. You know, I'll come up with a better motto, I think, at some point, probably. Because maybe it's not good just coming up with organic things. You know, right off the top of your head, it's you gotta plan those things out. You know. Gosh darn it. Well, funny oh, I think this is about the Mexican dogs getting deported, which is funny but a little tasteless. Just a little. Happy birthday, President Trump. No false idols, right? Wasn't that one of the commandments? My guess is the Pretenders did not approve this song rights release. No! See, I keep forgetting to put it in a new tab. Damn it. Because then it goes back to my algorithm or my typical search results. Gotta go with upload date. Or maybe if I did a little like reverse psychology for the search. Maybe if I did liberals, because they always the right always goes like, here's a question for liberals. Oh, see, look, Candace Owens, look at that. Oh, that's 2 years old, but see what I mean? Like, I think maybe I'll have better luck with that. Okay, I mean, right there, the title's a little crazy. So let's see what we got here.
Conservative white people, y'all cool. I love y'all. Y'all all right with me. It's you liberal white people that I don't like, and it's you liberal white people that I would love to be segregated from.
I'm gonna go get some more water. Let's just let that sink in a little bit. Oh boy. So he doesn't seem to want to say why he doesn't like liberal white people, but I'm feeling like there's some
conservative white people, y'all cool. I love y'all.
Okay, you're cool. I love y'all.
Right with me.
Okay.
It's you liberal white people that I don't like, and it's you liberal white people that I would love to be segregated from.
Okay, so he supports segregation. I mean, I feel weird. I feel like I just heard somebody like, yeah, it feels like AI. Really does. It's very strange. Let's see if he's got, I really would have loved to have heard why.
Conservative white people, y'all cool. I love y'all.
That's not what was. Okay, he's not going to speak. I don't unite with people based on skin color. I unite with people based on faith and American values. What if those people are all one skin color and it's not the one that you are? And they don't want you in that group. Will you care then? Because that's what some people are saying.
Conservative white.
So yeah, I'm guessing that he's just a shill? Oh man, I would love to sell t-shirts to conservatives. Like I would do like a eagle riding on a what, eagle riding on a Harley, shooting Uzis, you know, like, that would be so cool. I mean, it seems like... No, go back to... Go to the video I clicked on. I wanted to see the video I clicked on. No!
Yo, check this out. I'm not African.
What was that?
Yo.
And then it messed up my my
out.
sound. Like my
African-American.
earbuds aren't working again.
I'm American. All right. I was not born in Africa. I don't know nothing about Africa.
And I
All
yeah.
I know.
Ay. Okay, well, I guess that backfired on me a little bit. Come on, earbuds. Raycons suck. If you ever buy Raycons, well, I would just say don't buy Raycons. Raycons fucking suck. This might screw up whatever sound I have going on. No! I usually have to unplug for 5 seconds. Plug it back in, and hopefully... Connected. Should I switch to that? I don't think that never comes up. But now I can't hear anything again. Damn it! Okay. I hear it in this one. Alright. We're working again. Well, you know, those monitors are actually really good. The ones that they use on like podcasts, not obviously not like that, like over ear. There's these ones that it's in ear, but they go over, and they're like studio monitors for like live music. They're very good.
We do not.
So someone is making fun of a liberal here, looks like. Okay, good. We're still on upload date. Oh, come on, man. Jesus. Deport Democrats. And a road to Damascus? What? Priests? Oh, well, that's Canada. If you're not in Canada and you're a priest or a preacher and you're talking about politics, you're not supposed to do that. You're gonna lose your tax exempt status. So get effed. Get effed in the God's A. The gods? In God's A. Yeah. Upsets a lot of liberals, okay. Liberal gets schooled with facts, okay. Cool. Persecution complex right here. Oh, well, if they're talking about liberals in Canada, I can't really opine on that. Okay, so it's just a still image. Cool. I mean, I think that it's really important to look at where we're at and how time has changed since the MLK days. If you look a little bit earlier in those days, back to Selma and Savannah, you would see the, you know, police dogs being sicked on people, women, children. You would see the fire hoses being used, and yet we still got peaceful protest after that. So, I mean, sure, maybe they were a little bit more dignified back then. Stiff up our lip and all that. Oh no, that was a terrible accent. Stiff up our lip. My accent's... I've lost my English accent for the day. So, I mean, things have changed, and if you spent your entire life and your parents, you know, spent all their money and gave up all their belongings to give you a better life by packing you up and squirreling you away illegally to another country to seek asylum. You know how many asylum cases there are right now going through the immigration courts? I will give you a moment to Google that, because legal immigration is damn near impossible unless you have enough money to push things through with like a really good lawyer. So the argument that people should be coming here legally is all well and good if you know nothing about immigration. That being said, the protests getting out of hand, and let's say that what you're saying is correct, that these are the pictures that we need to be looking at that mirror society. Sure, that's dishonest, but okay. Can you imagine you're coming across the border and then they tell you got to leave, and the people you were trying to escape from in the first place are standing at the border going, the second you enter, we're going to kill you. We're going to slit your throat and we're going to take your baby and drink its blood like all the QAnon people think we do. So, I mean, that's going to happen regardless of whatever happens in the U.S. If you ever go back home, they will murder you. So, I mean, if you're a person who's a family member or a friend or an ally of someone like that, you're probably going to be pretty angry, right? And if you go out to protest and people say nothing but bad things about it, then you're probably going to get pretty pissed off about it, right? And if you're prone to violence, then you might throw a bottle or two. You might light a car on fire. I think the biggest difference between these two pictures is that this one on top here was an organized protest that took place at a specific date and time, and was very highly publicized. And this was one moment of one day of protests that have been happening, that where 11 million people participated this last weekend, where you won't find really any of this type of photo from those particular ones. Really, the only ones that you'll find are police dispersing crowds. Oh, they did. I know that was the day before. I was gonna say they did light one Waymo on fire, but that was actually the day before. So I haven't seen any of the propagandists, you know, that I normally look at for this kind of stuff. I haven't seen a lot of them posting videos from the No Kings protests. So.
What about Oregon?
What about Oregon?
Yeah. You said morons are governing America. What about Oregon? Are we
What about Oregon?
concerned about Oregon at all, because our education and economy is kind of going downhill?
We are pretty bad in terms of education here in Oregon. I think we're 8 in the country, or no, close to the bottom. We're like second up from the bottom. I think we're low on education scores. And economy, I mean, sure, I guess not really. I wouldn't say that Oregon has a booming economy, but I would also say that it has a sustainable economy, all really thanks to legalizing marijuana. Cannabis here has been a $100 million industry, to say the least. And if anything, robust legislation is what's going to keep it from becoming a black market product again. So, liberal policies, bitch.
A little bit.
We are, but that's not what this is about.
No, everything. Right. I'm just saying, are you concerned about Oregon at all, though? That's where we live. Yeah. You're concerned
That's wrapped up in America.
about people leaving the state?
Why do you give a shit if people leaving the state?
Leadership trying to increase taxes. Are you
Right. On specific things, not just across the board.
concerned about that at all, or is it just all on Trump?
Yeah, but
Trump is the leader of the country.
I am more concerned about the morons in D.C.
Do you protest against the Oregon people that are destroying the state?
Again, I will say, today is about the morons in D.C.
I don't know. I don't know who he is. I'm wondering myself.
Actual problems going. Do you guys actually protest?
I mean, this guy seems too dumb to understand it, but I'll go ahead and just say that you can care about 2 issues at once. You can care about 2 places at once. You can care about, 2 of your different core values at once. You can care about a few things all at once, and it can all be congruent, it can all be related, it can all be unrelated. It doesn't matter, really. You can think about many different things at once. We are humans. We're capable of a lot of stuff, a lot of brain stuff, and that's included. So it's a little weird that I think it's a very specific kind of dishonest to pose questions that don't really have any conclusions. And what the conclusion that you would come away from this line of questioning is, well, you care enough to protest Donald Trump, but you don't care enough to protest the needless spending in education lapse in the Oregon government, which is weird because sure, you can care about that too. Today we're protesting Trump. Tomorrow I can protest. And then he says the gotcha of why don't you protest for any of those things any other day? Why do you need to? You can vote for those things. And if you live in Oregon, you can go to the city council and you can be like, here's why you should or shouldn't do this, and speak to them. You can't speak to fucking Donald Trump. I'm sorry for saying the F word on TikTok Live, but I read that you can sparingly. Anyway, it's just dishonest. You're trying to change the subject before you've even asked a question.
Problems here in the state.
Have a really good day.
No, and you are. I'm not trying to. Yeah.
And the inclination for the person watching this or listening to it is to think like, oh, okay, that ended kind of nice. But then he puts the thing on the end where it's like, this person has no idea what they're talking about. It's just slimy. That's just like don't fucking treat people like that. Like that's how y'all got into this position in the first place, you know?
Pakistan County. She got a little crazy. And I think sometimes liberals get a little too nuts just because.
He was going to say the word cunty, which I don't think also you can say on TikTok Live, but I think that it's really necessary to say exactly what people are purposefully trying to obfuscate.
She got a little
I'll play that once more. Just to solidify it.
She got a little crazy.
So it's clear that he was trying to say, see you next Tuesday, E.
I think sometimes liberals get a little too nuts.
Probably another future failed comedian who's going to turn right-wing pundit. Well, he's already kind of a right-wing pundit from this, but he's clearly trying to make people laugh. And he's saying distasteful things.
Just because, taking a little too far, but...
I don't know. I kind of like the passion.
I do like the passion. Bonnie's got passion.
Yeah, I kind of like the
She's got passion.
Look, if you got right wingers, you gotta have left wingers.
But how do you don't combat that easily? You know what I mean? Like Russell's gonna go behind the stage. Trump-Pakistan County.
Always seeing it like a battle. There's really nothing much else to say about it. This man is not a good man.
If this offends you, comedy isn't the problem, but you are.
I learned that racism is passed down generationally. So it's internalized, which makes sense. I was walking home, it was late at night, and this black guy walks towards me. And instinctively, I grabbed my purse, even though logically, I know he's not for sale. He did steal my wallet, though.
If this offends you,
I mean, I don't think that any of that is offensive. It's shining a light on cultural racism and then telling a joke about it. That's actually activism. What do you say? What do you say elsewise? What are the other things that you've said? What are the dumb things you say? Oh, did you guys hear that Rick Moranis is coming back for the
activism ends where facts begin?
Was it the Spaceballs? Spaceballs 2?
We could set the way for the whole planet by committing to stopping
Pretty
oil.
cool.
The problem I have is this idea that the one group of people
I'm scratching my
have
dog.
decided that they are the ones to save the world. How dare you question us because we know what's right. I'm going to glue my hand to some tarmac and then I'm going to be a martyr and I'm going to be a good person while the rest of us can't get on with our day. I'm more than twice.
Civil disobedience is about disrupting society. People that don't seem to understand why protest exists baffle me.
Twice her age. I've got...
Who gives a shit if you're twice her age and have kids? Who gives a shit? Who gives one shit?
Kids, I've got a job, I've got an elderly mother.
She may have a job too, and an elderly mother as well. She may also be a mother and sister.
We have to get on with our life. I can't afford an electric
I mean, I doubt she's a mother, but well, you never know. She could be like in her 30s, and I'm just saying that because she looks young, you know?
car. I can't afford a heat pump.
I'm sorry, there's a Napoleon Dynamite sequel? And are you saying that Moranis is going to be in it? If so, I guess that'd be pretty cool, but really? Same guy? Same director?
I can't afford a heat pump. Most people can't afford it. It's about ego. There's no doubt that we've had a winter without any protests, but as soon as the sun comes out, it's...
Because people don't want to die in exposure temperatures?
Eco-festival time, and it is a festival.
Well, protests can be fun if the people doing them are like doing drum circles and shit, and if there's no riots happening, sure.
Get on social media. Let's advertise to my friends what a great person I am, while the rest ordinary.
If you're marching for other people's rights, if it doesn't really have much to do with you and you're still choosing to act, then yeah, you probably are a better person than someone who's going to complain about it.
People who have to go to work can't get to work.
That's literally why protest exists.
What's your response? I just can't believe that that's what you're saying.
Activism ends where...
I would be speechless too. I would be like, can we get the definition of protest and its history for this lady? Because you just said a lot of stuff that shows you have no idea why it exists. So, yeah. So this person is framing it, or this AI account is framing it like this person said a joke that liberals would have gotten offended by, but I don't think that would have happened in a million
Why
years.
is Donald Trump any different from all the other thieves that are in Washington?
Well, he cut your taxes. He made it easier for you to own a home. Number three,
Nope.
get no...
Only if you make above a certain amount. Made it easier for you to own a home if you're white by lowering the anti-discrimination restrictions.
New wars. Did Russia invade Ukraine?
Yeah, they did.
Under Trump?
No.
Why does that matter? Russia invaded Ukraine, and Russia and Trump are buddies. So that's a pretty clear connection to make. It doesn't have to be under whose administration. He had been president, and he had been subject to corruption already once, which a court found twice.
No.
Why is it for 4 years Russia stopped all of their incursions?
Probably something relating to Russian politics.
Trump was a peace president, unlike the den of thieves.
Because he was spending his time manipulating Trump and trying to invest in Trump's power grab.
That are currently running this country.
Why is Donald...
See, Charlie Kirk is one of the most... Can you say this on TikTok? Is one of the most pussy-faced men. And what I mean by that is he is a series of folds and flaps, and his face is made up of exterior folds and interior folds and a labia, and somewhere in there is a clitoris. And I don't say that in any way to insult him, but I do say that because I know that some part of him would be deeply insulted by that. What I mean in context is that he is a cowardly media personality who spends most of his time debating kids, and sometimes they provide him with clips and sound bites that he puts on here, and sometimes they school him. And so it just depends on which clips you're watching at any given time. But yeah, let's just say that suffice to say, Charlie Kirk is a poop stain of a man. Poop stain of a man. Let's see, now we're back at my weird algorithm that just does random stuff.
You want to go there where he just did? Oh no, you don't want to go there, right? See what I mean? You don't want to see what he said? I'm all right.
Liberals know almost nothing but feel on opinions and feelings. Facts plain as day.
Hey, brother, I don't want to go there. He don't want to go there. You putting that makeup on. I mean,
I mean, the sign is true. The U.S. is built on the backs of immigrants.
You can? What's that? You can? Not very well. I can do. Look at that thing. No, bro.
I'm confused. What do they think is happening in this?
We got the military out here today. I got them. I finally found some. I said I wanted to get some footage. Here we are. It took me, what, 4 days?
So, I think what's happening here is he's nervous and he doesn't want anyone knowing why he's there. Because it's clear that he has a very specific opinion. We can tell just by looking at that. He has a very clear opinion about who he thinks was at No King's BS day. Very clear. And so it's entirely possible that he has like enough of a following that people might know who he is and recognize him if they see him, or recognize his voice, or recognize like the things that he's talking about. So what he's decided is that he's going to start saying just random shit about finding the military.
4 days.
So that people walking by like are like, hey, why's that guy doing that? Because he doesn't want to be like found out. Oh shit, they know who I am. But what kind of insecure person? And the reason I'm led to believe that is because he seems very insecure, because I have to wonder what kind of insecure person would make something that they then caption their intent, as opposed to like engaging with people like a lot of other content creators do. So I'm trying to just look at a very clear through line. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I think I'm right, but that's my headcanon, and I get to have it.
Not move to America because we think it's a better country. We move here because it's a little less worse than our other countries.
That's an odd way of saying that that's better
in
than
most
our
cases. In most cases.
Because you're stupid to think that we moved to this country for some hot dogs and some baseball.
Never have I ever heard someone say that they moved to US because they wanted to watch baseball and eat hot dogs.
What? So you misunderstood what she said in the first place, even though she said, I am not saying that I'm moving here because America's a better country. That's what she said specifically, and he already misunderstands that.
Because it's a little less worse than our other countries.
She says less worse. So you have to not understand basic English sentence composition to get that wrong.
That's an odd way of saying that that's better than our country.
Not what she said.
Because you're stupid to think that we moved to this country for some hot dogs and some baseball.
Never have I ever
If you don't understand subtext, that is a you problem, not a her problem.
heard someone say that they moved to US because they wanted to watch baseball and eat hot dogs. No,
Right.
most of the people.
What she said, if you were paying attention, was that we didn't move to America because it's a better country. That's what she said. And she was just using colorful language to illustrate that at the end of her sentence. You gotta be a little slow on the pickup to not understand that.
People usually do it because they want the best, environment for their family, and it.
Just like I'm sure if you asked, she would probably tell you the same thing.
Think that US is the best place, so they move there.
We have
Nope.
The best place. Their family, and they think that US is a.
So you just tacked that on to something that was blatantly true. You just tacked that on just to kind of like, oh, also you think America's the best.
The best place, so they move there.
We have better vibes, music, food, culture, history, literally all of the above.
Everything is better in our country, but we don't want to go back.
No, your culture, not in your country. Culture. Culture's different than country. Your country is where you are born. Your culture is what you grew up in. It's part of your environment. It's what forms you, and it's what informs your experiences.
Back to our country. Everything is better in our country, but.
Nope, didn't say that. Said that it's just a little bit less worse here than it was there.
We don't want to live in our country.
You don't want to live in your country because the people there could potentially murder you. And so that's why you go to a country where they have asylum laws.
Wow.
We just moved here because we are looking to make more money and offer a better chance for our families.
which is exactly what he said that most people move here for.
I mean, that kind of does say that US is better.
Which is contradictory to what she specifically said in the beginning. She said that they don't move here because it's better, and you think that her entire message is that our country is better than America, and that's all you think.
I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comments.
We do.
I'm letting you know right now, in not the comments, because I don't want to engage. I don't want to give you the pleasure of my engagement. All right. I don't even know how to address that. Liberal woke Jews will soon be a minority. I don't know if that's in favor of it or against it, so I'll just not worry about it. Butthurt liberal men. Me when I... So? What's wrong with putting on lipstick? Donald Trump wears makeup? Layers of it. What's wrong with makeup? Are you really that ancient that you're still the kind of guy that you're like, real men don't wear makeup? Because that's a weird stance to take, man. I feel like... Wait, is this actually a woman that's doing this stuff?
You're a fool, blaming...
Come on, why does it never...
You're a fool, blaming Trump.
It never goes on to the actual video that I'm looking, or that I want to look for.
We are the pinnacle of...
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, liberal men, feel free to wear lipstick all you want. Why does that have anything to do with your stances? It doesn't, you know, doesn't make us any less of a man. Men make us any less of a man. I am no less of a man. Link, Lauren. Who?
We have one clip from the No Kings protest that we have to look at because it underscores just how much media consumption can shape our worldview and our narrative. Let's take a look at the clip and then discuss.
I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, I have casually referred to what's going to happen in the next few weeks as sort of like a slow burn Night of the Long Knives. It's pretty clear what's happening. They're testing out, they're trying to develop a testing bed for arresting political leaders. I mean, that's... I know how conspiratorial that sounds, but I'm just looking at what I've been seeing develop over the last 8 years, 10 years. It has been very weirdly, steadily moving in the same direction. I mean, we're going to annex Canada next, and then, you know, the transformation will be complete.
So scared. I'm 74 years old. I worry about everything. And I just am so scared and upset.
So you look at someone crying, and you try to use all your empathy that you can, use all the empathy that you can to try and understand why they would be crying in a situation that you believe is ridiculous. You believe that, you know, these liberals are crazy, they're out of control, they're rioting, they're destroying cities. And so you see a clip of someone on a news program, you're this person, spot on with Link, and you see this and you go, that's some bullshit. I'm gonna have to fucking react to that. You fucking bitch, you bitch. You know, it feels mean.
I don't understand why people did.
If I was to put myself in her shoes and wonder why she's feeling so emotional at a protest, it's because, well, protests can get emotional. There's a lot of people there who are experiencing very intense emotions because they're invested heavily in what's going on, but also because Medicaid and SNAP are under attack, man. Like, it's not it doesn't affect most people, and that's why most people don't give a shit. So yeah, it's not even that it doesn't affect most people. It doesn't affect rich people. It doesn't affect people who are well off. Oh, I wanted to see if Hutch was live, because if he is, I have some things to say. Nope, why did I just Google? I just showed my age. Like, I just did one of those old man things. I just did like the most old man thing that I have ever done in my life. I can't even believe myself right now. I just typed to Google a person that I was going to look for, or that I'm supposed to just be looking for on here on Twitch. Ugh, I'm too old. I need to be retired. I need to be shut down. But that needs to come with like a retirement fund. Oh, I am slipping. You know, it's the age. It's the old age. I'm slipping. I've lost my awareness.
Can someone come?
So you're laughing while someone is experiencing genuine heartbreak. This already makes me feel like you're a monster.
Get their grandma and take her to the nursing home. Shout out to everybody watching us and listening to us at the nursing home right now. I'm pretty popular with the old people. I love you all. It's come one, come all to the Halloween ball on my show. If you're 18 or you're 108.
You've spent half your short, or your short, yes, YouTube. You spent half your short saying nothing.
You're welcome on my show. But this woman, her family needs to step in. She needs to be taken away because she clearly is not well. And this
still hasn't said anything of substance yet.
This is what happens when you sit inside and you watch Rachel Maddow on MSNBC 24/7 and you're inundated and indoctrinated with all of this propaganda.
I'm sensing a little pot calling the kettle black here, but let's continue.
So this woman has nothing to fear. I don't know what fear she says she's living in. She seems fine. She's up walking.
Sure, if you haven't been paying attention to anything that Donald Trump has been saying, then I guess I'd agree that she probably is ridiculous for living in fear.
She's out and about. She seems to have some money in her back pocket because she has all this free time to go protest. But
oh man, that's just so dishonest. Like, oh, only rich people can protest. No, people with shit to lose protest. Like that,
But these folks have been told time and time again, President Trump is the boogeyman.
Who do you think is this nebulous, well, legacy media, I'm guessing, is who everyone thinks is like this nebulous force that's sending out leaflets to everyone saying about, hey, you guys remember that Trump is a bad guy. No, he keeps doing things that make people realize that he's a bad guy. It's a simple point A to point B device here.
It's a threat to democracy. The country is going to come to an end if President Trump gets...
Yeah, they're saying, I mean, the politicians who are going into power under this MAGA umbrella are saying that they're going to get rid of things, that they want to restrict people from even existing. So if anyone's feeling existential over this administration still after 100 days or whatever, you know, like, it really is justified. And if you just take really 1 second to think about it, it's not that hard to come to the conclusion that maybe they might be genuine in what they're feeling. Like I say, you know, about the trans issue, like, people say like, oh, well, being trans is just a mental illness. And I say like, okay, that's fucking gross, but let's just imagine that there's a universe in which you're correct. Wouldn't you want to support that person in any way that you could to get them the help that they absolutely need? Then the answer should always be yes, instead of just being like, okay, what are you going to do? Put them in a asylum or something? Like, what exactly is your solution? Like, even if we are to assume that that's going on, then still take care of them. Oh, well, I was going to say, if you were talking about the video game, then yes, because they seem like a very dishonest dystopian mouthpiece. And I was going to agree with you wholeheartedly on that. But are you talking about the tabletop version, Cyberpunk? Was it just Cyberpunk, or did it have a year attached to it? Well, I know they're the same universe, but like it's way earlier in the timeline, isn't it? Isn't it before the Corpo Wars, or is it like during the Corpo Wars? Fleeing liberal states, go fuck yourself.
I think there are folks that are leaving liberal states like California and moving to conservative. I think Phoenix is somewhat conservative. Arizona. I know you've got a lot of people retiring from California that love moving to Arizona.
Yeah.
Because the winter.
First of all, no. People aren't fleeing other states or liberal states. There are liberal and Republican parts to every state. The only reason why cities, big metropolitan areas, lean more progressive than conservative is because people there support progressive values because they see the benefit of those progressive of those policies. They see where their taxes are going into their community's schools. They see where their taxes are going into the improvements that are going to the parks and the parklets and all the things that are in those metropolitan centers. But not only that, the kicker here is that they know that civil services exist within those metropolitan centers, and they need to be close to those because they have kids, or they have, you know, they have families, they have like elderly people that they're taking care of, something like that. They are members of a community and you are not. And that's the real fucking teller right there. That's the real red flag. Oh, my timer's working. That's the first time it's done that though, I think. But it's working. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, Cyberpunk, I think it was 2020 was the one that I had been most familiar with before 2077 was, you know, on the scene. And I had honestly thought that it was going to be like a more sort of like a futuristic retro thing. Like, you know how like if you were to say like, oh, you know, like flying cars exist, but it's like set in the 70s. I thought it was going to be something like that. Because I remember like I bought the game when it first came out because I had paid attention to the development of the game since the 10 years prior when it had first been announced. And it looked so cool that I had been trying to keep track of it since then. I have to check her to make sure she doesn't have poop on her again. Every time she goes outside. Are you a poop? Not a poop. Congratulations, she's not a poop. Okay, yeah, and that was, I think, where I had left off in the timeline, and I wasn't like I'm never super stoked on like that post-apocalyptic kind of stuff. It's not that I don't like Fallout. Like, I love all the story stuff in Fallout, but I freaking hate the Wasteland. Hate it with a passion. I want the Wasteland to go away. But the idea of something like that, like of like Corpo Wars, the Corpo Wars, we should like, I don't know, that would be pretty hard to make into an engaging video game or an entertaining video game. But I don't know, you know, like Cyberpunk. I feel so let down by Cyberpunk, and I think that it was that trauma that I had for the first year or two of its release that that keeps me from going back. I really want to, because it's supposed to have a really good story, like through to the end, and then Phantom Liberty is supposed to be good too. But I don't know. Maybe that'll be a Work Wednesday thing. Could do that for like the profession would then be courier, you know, like I'd be a futuristic courier. Tomorrow I'm going to be a sand farmer. That's the job position for tomorrow. Yeah, see, having all that, I would have loved to have seen a whole section of the story from the Corpo like atmosphere, you know? Like it would have been really cool to see like a whole chunk of the story where you're doing like corporate espionage. Like I wanted to see that lady in the beginning of where like the guy's in the trunk. I wanted to see that turn into something, you know? It turns into like a whole thing. I don't know. Maybe I expected too much, but that would have been cool. Like if the life paths meant anything past like dialogue.
There are fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, I played it. I played. Gosh, how much of Cyberpunk have I played? Oh, that's on GOG. I played through a bunch of it, and the problem was that it was when it first released, so I was having a time.
Like it's so funny. The people who are leaving California are also liberals. Like they're moving to Idaho. They're moving.
Affordability.
It's affordability, but what's funny is that it's the policies oftentimes.
Oh no, yeah, I have played it recently. Just after Phantom Liberty came out, and because I was like, oh, you know, I'm finally just gonna sit down and play through the story, and then I'll buy Phantom Liberty, and then I lost the job at Sky High, so I just stopped. It was very fun, and I got to the part. I think I got further than I had ever got, because I just played around, you know, just causing mayhem. But the story part that I got to was, I think you just did the job at the parade. There's the parade where you have to get the support of the sister of the guy who's in charge after Saburo got killed. Oh, well then I'm still like way in the early parts of the game. So see, again, I'd still like to play through it. I just, every time, I don't know, it starts to feel weird. It starts to feel weird. And not that I'm saying that I haven't seen, like I've seen the ending and I've seen like big chunks of the game, like the whole like Pan Am. Yeah, it's lonely. It's not lonely. It's like desolate. It's not, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a living world. It feels like a single player world. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's you've hit the nail on the head. Yeah, having the choice is kind of like a big important quality, you know? Yeah, that's why I don't like post-apocalyptic wastelands. They just feel so bereft of everything, and I think that people on the whole are so easily pleased that they're just like, yeah, I mean, I'll take some mole rats and an occasional shootout every now and again, but it's like I want GTA, not even GTA. GTA also feels lonely sometimes. I want like, I don't know. I just, every time that I would see like a shootout happening, you know, like there's like a getaway and there's like a shootout and like they're shooting at the cops and they're just rolling, and it's just something that I witnessed that's just going, you know, happening in front of me like in real time. Like I love that stuff. You know, like little moments, and it would be great to just have a game full of little moments like that. Red Dead 2 was actually the closest to that I'd ever seen, because there's so many random encounters that it can almost seem like you're never going to experience the same thing once, or the same thing twice. Yeah, just unscripted stuff. And what they had described when they were first talking about Cyberpunk was they had the AI capabilities that they were going to have dynamic events along with life. I forget what the term is, but it's when an NPC has like a routine throughout the day. They had said that the NPCs were all going to have like different routines during the day, like they were going to observe weekends, or like they were going to have different days off where they would just go to like a park or a restaurant or something, and then they would have days where they work, where you would see them in an office, or you know, or something dynamic would happen to them where, yeah, like they had in Oblivion. I think that was that was like the beginning of that. Was Daggerfall was before Oblivion, right? Or was that after? Yeah, that was the beginning of sort of the AI having, but that made me feel like maybe we're on a path somewhere, you know, maybe we're on a path of the AI like doing something instead of just living in the world. Yeah, if that makes sense. That'd be cool. I'm into that. Yeah, see, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I think that might have peaked the mic. Whoops. Apologies. Yeah, something like that would be cool. I would love to do, or I would love to see, you know, a game that's like living, that like really makes me feel like I'm involved in the action, but it's not on rails like a AAA game. I know that's a difficult balance to strike. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll find it one day. Well, like an evolving world, like MMOs were supposed to be, but people don't like that by and large. Like they want to be able to expect the same thing. Like they want it. Like you got speedrunners, you got people who are like raiders who do the same content over and over again, who need to know what to expect to stay competitive. You know, like you got a lot of pushback against a you know, evolving thing. I had heard about PlayerUnknown's newer project. That's going to be pretty impressive from what I was hearing. Yeah, isn't one of them Arc Raiders, I think, or is that somebody else? Grand RPG. As long as it's not top down, I want to experience something from, like, you know, the ground level. I don't just want to see it happening to something, you know? I want to see it like, whoa, you know, like, I don't know. All right, well, it's close enough that I'm just going to go ahead and cut the stream here. There is nothing wrong with it, but I do links. I do links. But yeah, we got, you know, live's gotta, I think, is gonna go by the wayside for a bit until I can figure out how to even get people to join the thing. But it's more it's good for Talk Tuesdays, I think. So Work Wednesdays and Theme Thursdays will probably not involve the Live Studio app. The Wayward Realms. Okay, it's funny, there was wasn't there like a dungeon crawler that was sort of physics based like this? That I mean, is that a thing? Can you like go sailing? Because that would be really cool. I want to do that. Do they have, is there any information on what they're going to charge for it? It's going to be like a $60 game or a $30 game? Not that it matters. I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm into it. I want it. But I also, you know, I might get swept up in it. I might get more involved than, or I might think that it's something that it's not, and then I'll be disappointed when it happens. It happens, man. Getting disappointed with things happens. All right, well, yeah, I'll keep track of it. I'll track it in my mind, in my brain, and in my Steam wish list as well. All right, well, thank you guys for being here. 3 viewers is better than none. Well, 2 viewers is better than none. So thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate it. Hopefully Work Wednesday will be just as painless. We're going to be farming sand. I'm almost at an ornithopter, but I have a feeling that getting the crystals is going to be the most difficult part, because you can't use the ornithopter to get crystals where you would need an ornithopter to easily get crystals. So we'll have to find out a way to do that. That's my current situation inside Dune right now. But we're gonna be dirt farmers, sand farmers, and we're gonna get that spice. All right, because the spice is nice. I've been Goose. Please like and subscribe, and please, you know, look at the clips, look at my socials, do all the things that people normally do. That's right, you heard me. But yeah, thanks guys. And if you guys, any of the COHF, is that, am I acronyming it right? If any of you guys end up playing Dune later on, perhaps, you know, tonight, tomorrow, or whatever, any day, let me know. And I guess I don't mind starting over, but if you can go over to a different server with all your stuff, that'd be great. Maybe all my tools or something. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. COFH, there you go. So yeah, thanks again, guys. I appreciate it so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your days. Day and days. Have a great day.